Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as Megan_Babauta_ on Ravelry as Mama Made VM, or you can email me at theseattlestitcher@gmail.com. All my social media links will be down below, so if you have troubles finding me, go ahead and click those there. And as I say, you are all very, very welcome here. So I don't feel like I have that much progress for the past couple weeks. It's the first week of summer, but I do have a lot of fun plans and a lot of fun stuff to show you guys. I'm actually going to start with an FFO that was gifted to me. This is one of the girlies, Elizabeth. She is Frizzy Lizzy Stitches on Instagram as well as on Flosstube, and I just love her. She is literally a real life princess. I remember before I met her, she knows this, I've told her this about, I literally thought like she was too good to be my friend because she is that, like, she's amazing, honestly. Like the kindest person you'll ever meet, so sweet, like just so thoughtful, and she is gorgeous, just drop dead gorgeous, right? And so she is just like too good to be you're friends with me. I literally was like, she's gonna hate me. Because she's so just beautiful and amazing, right? And I mean, I highly recommend checking out her YouTube channel if you haven't already. And I mean, just goes to show how absolutely beautiful she is inside and out. She sewed us, all the girlies, these little pillows. It is just so sweet of her. It says, "It's you I like," which is a little song if you haven't heard of it. But this was actually the fabric as well as the floss from her Round Robin project. And it's just extra special because her Round Robin project, I got to stitch on it while she was getting married, which was amazing. And then her wedding photos were beautiful. She is a real life princess. And then she stitched on mine while I was having my son. So we both got to stitch on each other's projects at like really just integral, vital points of our lives. And so, yeah, I will just treasure this and her forever. She is truly one of my best friends. Yeah, we're the girlies. So I think I'm gonna put it up there. I think it's fun. I might put it with my blue books. My blue books are up there. But anyways, my next FFO, this is one that I finished myself. If you watched the last episode, then you'll have seen this pattern. This is Calico Confectionary's Strawberry Hill Farm. And I loved this project. It was the perfect project to start for Strawberry Moon Sal, which is hosted by Marjorie Maid. You can check her out on Instagram or on YouTube underneath that name. And she's fabulous, amazing, always just so full of ideas. Like Marjorie is an idea machine, okay? You need a good idea, she's your girl. She's just so creative and amazing and wonderful. And she had this beautiful hashtag, Strawberry Moon Sal. If you're really into like Farmer's Almanac, that kind of thing, there's like a whole dedication to the different moons. And every year, the June moon is the strawberry moon. Of course, it goes in with the season of strawberries. And so this was my tribute to the Sal. And I really loved the pattern overall, just like I love all Calico Confectionery patterns. I think they're super cute and just fun stitches in general. This actually here is a Calico Confectionery pattern as well. So I really am a fan, and I've been just having fun making little changes to these smalls that I'm doing, but needless to say, I did make some changes. This is my FFO, and I got the frame off of Amazon, so I guess I'll say that first. It was only like $7. It's just a plastic frame. Shout out to Cam the Stitcher helped me pick this one out, and I think Bridget voted for this frame too, I'm pretty sure. Bridget is the museum stitcher. All of them, my girlies, the lovely ladies. So yeah, this is stitched on 1/2 on 20 count brown sugar Aida by Fiber on a Whim, which like I had posted this finish on my Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw this first. And then Fiber on a Whim, which is like probably one of my favorite dyers, like it's becoming. I love Picture This Plus, but their weave is very tight. And since I've been struggling with eyesight, I appreciate that Fiber on a Whim is really true to their count that they have listed. And they reshared my post and I was like, you know that meme with the lady that's like, and it's silent scream? That was me. And I messaged the girlies and was like, I will never recover from this. I'm literally famous. I just really love Fiber on a Whim. Those ladies are like, wow, leave us alone. I also recharted up here. I added the 24. I found this font as a free font on Pinterest. I don't have a link to it. I'm sorry. I didn't even save it. I just literally saw it, zoomed in while I was at the pool, stitched it, and was done. And then the MTB, I couldn't really find a font that was perfect. I kept on looking for fonts on Pinterest, like different free ones. And I kept finding like fancy fonts and I kept trying those. I tried like 4 different ones, but I ended up ripping them all out because I wasn't happy with it. And I just ended up like charting my own really simple font from just like big bold letters. And I like it. I think it turned out cute. The other change I made is I added an extra bird over here to fill in some space. I took away the mailbox at the bottom just because I didn't really love the way it looked. I don't know. It just seemed weird. With my colors, because it was like a stark black mailbox and the only other place I had the black was the birds, so I wanted the birds to stay, I don't know, it was just like in my head, didn't make sense. So I replaced all of the colors, so none of these are the called for colors, and of course the house is the biggest change. I made it a blue house because I thought on this fabric, the brown sugar, it just looked so pretty and the frame matches perfectly. So yeah, I love this so much. I'm really happy with it. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna put it yet because this frame is definitely not something that I typically would go for, like this tealy robin's egg blue sort of style, but it's perfect for the piece. I had to hold this here for a second because I was like, is that straight? But it is, I think. I can't tell. Oh my gosh. I hope it's straight in there. Oh, well. I haven't laced it yet, but so I kind of cheat. So before I will lace the back of a piece, I use a spray adhesive and I center it on the cardboard backing perfectly, and then I will actually tack it or whatever down. But I haven't laced any of mine yet, but that's my little trick to making sure it's perfectly on there and in there straight, because you can rip it off and reattach it. It's not too damaging in my opinion, but I'm no professional and I wouldn't advise doing that for a professional, beautiful, huge piece. I do that with these smalls that I don't plan on making these be passed down in my family or something. It's not an heirloom piece. I guess that's the word I'm looking for, not an heirloom. So yeah, I love that. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna put it. I'm not really a fan of having stuff in front of my books on my bookshelf. I say that, but I've been putting my smalls on my bookshelf so you can see one down here because it's just easy for me to reach to. But I gotta find a spot for some of these, especially the Halloween ones. I think it'd be fun to hang them as a little wall collage sort of situation, but I gotta find a spot for that one. Maybe I'll end up putting it here. Let's see how that looks. I think it looks a little too small. The next project I started is another kit. I am really gung-ho about the idea of giving you guys a really in-depth, honest review of a bunch of different kit brands. And so far I have tried Thea Gouvenier, I've tried Dimensions, I've tried Magic Needle, and I've tried now Real Liz as well. So this was one of the brands that I wanted to give a shot to. This is a Russian brand, I believe, and I'm really liking it so far. The flosses are wool acrylic. I think they do offer some cotton options, but I'm not quite sure which ones are cotton and which ones aren't. I got this off of My Bobbin, pretty much I had already gotten an order from them. Then I had been messaging with my mom because my mom had been redecorating her entryway and she was doing a full wall kind of maximalist style, and she had this little tiny space that she needed something a 5x7, and I was I could stitch you something. So she picked this and I think it's gonna look so good. If I have a picture of her entryway, I'll pop it in here because I think this is gonna look fabulous. And so far I'm really liking it. I don't know if I mentioned that this is one of the wool acrylic kits, so it's definitely been a different experience. So far, the charting is beautifully clear. I will say it's a little hard though because it's very, very saturated blocks on the pattern itself. So when you're looking at the pattern page, it's really hard to mark off where you were if you're someone who uses a highlighter, because the highlighter's not really going to show up on those fully saturated blocks of color, especially on a pattern like this where it's miming the colors that are actually used, and so they're dark. I just did an upper left corner start, which is not my typical, honestly. In these kits, I've been starting from the center, but with this one, I was like, you know what? It's gonna be so tightly framed that I'm not gonna be too precious about it. So I give myself about 1.25 inches border there. I know that seems drastic for a lot of people, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. After finishing all these other smalls now, I realize it's fine. The way that I finish them, it'll be just fine. The wool acrylic, the stitches themselves are definitely bulkier. Like it feels very much like a tapestry. They're very bulky. So that's one thing. And you definitely don't get the same stitch definition, I would say, because with the wool acrylic, of course, it's fluffy. Like that wool content is definitely making it fluffier. Also, when you're pulling it through, because it's so fluffy and fibrous to begin with, it really does shred apart at the ends. And I will say the Aida they give you, this is not a Zweigart Aida, but it is very nice. It's very soft. It feels like 100% cotton sort of deal here, but it's a 14 count. It's true to the count. I like the Aida. Even though it's super soft though, you really can't like pull your needle through it without damaging the ends. I've tried a couple of different options for waxes as well, and three actually, 3 different brands, and so far none of them have been saving the ends. I've just had to snip them quite frequently to make sure they don't fray too bad, which sucks because you are wasting floss, but I'm hoping that I have enough floss to finish the kit. So yeah, I just started in the corner. I'm getting one blended color in, and then I'm gonna do the fill in of this darker brown shade, and this is the start of the leaf of the rose. So it really is very tiny. I probably could have given myself more of a margin, but like I said, I'm not worried about it. It'll be fine. And here are the thread cards. So there's 3 that are the same color, 2 that are the same color, 3 that are the same color. With this though, I found that I am doing a lot of blended stitches, like you're blending a lot of the threads to create more colors than even what is provided here, which is awesome. I actually like that effect. I don't have any issues doing it. I wish that these floss drops or floss cards had an extra hole punched into them already so you could put your leftover flosses in, but it's all right. I like that they are just one strand when you pull it right off, so you can pull exactly what you need. It's just that sometimes you got a little bit left, you know, and it's like, oh, I could do a few stitches with that, but I don't like going and like trying to count over far away from where I am in a project. I will just wait until I get nearby it and use that little tiny thread from there. But really good needle that comes with the kit as well, but I will say, because it's that wool acrylic, I am struggling to thread the needle as well, because it's not necessarily a fiber that I want to put in my mouth because it's so hairy. So I'm using that, you know, the floss wax, and then I'm using a needle threader to help me get it through. But the 2/1 on the 14 count, it's really good coverage, but with that, it's hard to thread in that tiny needle. So it's all right. The next project I started, this one is actually a fun one because I started this with Katie over at Red Stitchery. I will link her channel down below. If you've watched my previous, like probably 3 or 4 floss tubes, you'll know I'm just obsessed with her. Love her so much. She's fabulous, amazing. She stitches beautiful things. Like if you're looking for some really good kit content, like these pre-kitted up projects that you can buy, you know, Riola's, Magic Needle, Mareska, check out her channel. She's got a little bit of everything. And we decided to start this one. This is the Lilacs. I actually saw it on her channel first, I'm pretty sure, and I purchased it right away because I loved it so much. I think I got this one off of Wizardy, which is an Etsy shop. I really do like that shop as well. I will have to link it down below because it's a good one. And they have a lot of options and good prices. So yeah, check them out as well. It's like my 2 favorite places right now for kits are My Bobbins, which has the best selection I've seen so far, and really good shipping. Like shipping is $5 and some change within the States. Amazing. And they also have like a bunch of different, I don't know, they have more brands, but Wizardy also has a really good selection. So anyway, started this one, and this is kind of a funny one because I like the Magic Needle patterns, but they're also just one large sheet. So I'm not going to show you the pattern, but I'll show you the back of it. So this one, for instance, is like a, you know, a little pamphlet, but on the other side of this is your entire chart, because this is a smaller piece. So it's not a huge one, but it doesn't matter how big the Magic Needle charts or patterns are. It's all one huge like poster essentially that you're stitching off of. I also found with this one, so you can kind of see there, the colors are not as saturated as the Riola's ones. It's just that these colors are a bit darker because they're deeper shades of purple. And so I am having to mark off on the chart with an ink pen instead of marking off with, typically what I would do is the midliner highlighters, but it's just not showing up well enough. So I didn't have that struggle with the other Magic Needle kit, and I'm kind of glad that I ended up starting 2 of them, because now I feel like I'm able to give a little bit of a better review, because that could be a struggle for some people. comfortable. So far, the charts being those large, massive charts, at first I really hated it, but now I'm not having too much of an issue. My one concern is where the fold lines are on the page. I'm worried about those kind of deteriorating over the next couple years of my stitching and me using the chart, and then it falling apart before I can get it finished. So I am going to try to get these done relatively soon, like within the next 2 years, because they're on 14 count, which is very easy for me to see. I can stitch on that in the car, pretty much anywhere. I take these to the pool and I stitch at the pool because it is summertime here in the States, and my daughter's on summer break right now. Let me just close my window. So I did do a center start on this one, which is typical for me with kits I found. And here is my start. So I did get a good actual portion of this going. This right here is like one of the whole lilacs. It's like a bunch of them. And this is actually fully stitched in. It's full coverage here. And then this is going down into some leaves, and the pot is right down here. Needle minder here is from Mad for Minders. This is Zweigart Aida, 14 count. Really like Zweigart. It starts a little bit stiff and then it softens up so fast. My hands tend to not be like sweaty, but warm. They're not really like freezing cold all the time. So I find that maybe it's just the warmness, or I don't know what, but it softens so quickly for me. I really, really like it. And this is 2/1 on that, which is just, you know, obviously all in the kit, all those details, but those are the details there. And this is a Morgan hoop. Highly recommend these. This is a 7-inch. I absolutely love them. I will eventually transition this over into a Q-snap just because I do like to have the full view of my stitching if the kit is small enough to fit in there. But to start, have it on the Morgan because I love them so much. And the magic needle, honestly, as much of a mess as this is, it's my favorite kit floss situation so far that I've actually stitched. We'll see when it comes to like moving forward, but I like how easy this is. And you can follow Katie over at Red Stitchery, and she gives some tips on how to organize floss, and one of them is braiding the flosses. But I don't think you can have them on here as the loops, so you have to unloop them all. But I liked how they already came looped on the card, like it's a little slip knot situation you can pull one thread from. I don't have any issues pulling the thread in that way, as long as I only pull one thread at a time. But since this is stitched 1/2, the length of this is perfect for me to pull one thread and do a loop start. So I really like these. They're a good thickness. They're not too flimsy, but they're not the best when it comes to the quality of the cardboard per se, but I'm not having any issues with them breaking. So that's nice. I also like, because there is blended stitches in these, there tends to be on these magic needles, there tends to be some extra holes in the cards. And I appreciate that because I'm able to put the blended threads, like this was a blended thread, I'm able to put those just on the card. So that's really nice. I like having the extra holes, and the length is not too terribly long. Like Thea Gouvenier, the length of her flosses is ridiculous. Dimensions, the length of their flosses is insane. It's because they did loop start it for you, like how it's set on the slip knots here. It's not extraordinarily long, and I wish more kits would do that. I know it's time consuming, I'm sure, because I'm sure that an actual person has to slip knot these. I don't think a machine possibly could, maybe, but yeah, beautiful colors too, isn't it? It's just lovely, just very, very lovely. Highly recommend Magic Needle though. Honestly becoming one of my favorites. I really like the style of their products in general too. I mean, it's a very set style, I would say. It's very like floral and just fun colors, and I really, really like them. So from there, I started another small, because to kind of keep my wind in my sails per se, I've been starting smalls pretty frequently, and obviously getting a bunch of them finished pretty easily. So I've typically been able to start a small and finish a small within a 2-week time period, and like fully FFO it by the end. So I did want to keep on that roll and start another small. This pattern is Bless This House by Happy Mood Point, and here is my progress. I'm stitching this 2/1 on a 16 count Aida. And I really love the coverage. It's so just like, you can't see any of the fabric through, and I love that. This needle minder is from Mad for Minders as well. And this fabric is dyed by me. This is just taupe Rit dye. I did do some dyeing. So if you follow me on Instagram, then you saw my little process of dyeing, because I did post my stories about it and went more in depth about the colors and everything. But I also took some clips. So I will insert those into this video, the clips of me, because yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. And I'll talk about the fabrics right after I'm done talking about this project. But I love this project. It's super cute. It's going to be very small. And so because it's gonna be so small, I have this extra bit kind of hanging off the end here, but that's okay. And you can see I had it in a Morgan hoop, but I took it out because I'm just not really working on it at the very moment. But I really love this, and I love the dye job. The taupe Rit Aida looks, or Rit dye on the Aida. This is just pure white Aida. Looks really good. I love it. This is just a more saturated version of it. And then here are the flosses, which I just created this little floss drop card, kind of like the Magic Needle ones because I liked it so much. I created this myself with like some thicker cardstock, but you can see the colors are just really, really pretty on the fabric. I love it. So yeah, that's been really fun. Love the colors, super simple project, and I think it'll be a quick finish. I think I'm gonna focus on my kit stitching for the next couple of weeks. I also am gonna be going back to work here pretty soon, so I don't know how much more progress I'll get and if I'll be able to maintain getting a small finished every 2 weeks, but it has been fun while it lasted. But yeah, love this. So I guess I'm gonna go into the other pieces that I dyed, just because I dyed that piece, and then the next day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go get some more Rit dyes and I'm gonna dye up some more fabric. So I did. So this is the next one. This was just charcoal gray Rit dye and purple. I'm pretty sure I actually did the purple, and then I was like, you know what, let me overwash this with pearl gray, and that kind of brightened it up in some of the areas where it was a little bit too white. It's made it a little bit more bright, and then over dyed all of that with more purple and charcoal gray. And so yeah, really happy with that. Again, that's 16 count Aida, just started as pure white. The next one is pearl gray. This is just pearl gray, nothing else added, and it's not diluted. I buy the ones that are already mixed in the tub, like the little Rit dye bottle, and I essentially scrunch the fabric up really, really tight, you know, getting it in the hot water, and yeah, I just kind of dump the dye into a little tub with the fabric scrunched up on the bottom. But of course, like I said, I have little videos and clips of that, so I will add those in probably at the end of the video. So if you're interested, just skip forward and you'll see it. From there, I did one in taupe. So this is the same exact dye, but this is diluted taupe, and this is not diluted taupe. So you're able to get a really, really good like variety in just using one bottle of Rit dye, which is awesome. So yeah, love that. And then the last one is crazy mix of colors. It took me a while to get this one because I did have to let this one dry completely in between one of the stages. So this one is neon green, purple, tangerine, and charcoal gray. Those are all the Rit dye colors. Started with the neon green with this one because I'm sure I'll get questions. So I started with the neon green, dyed that, and then I took the purple and I just dipped like these little plastic tweezers that I have for dyeing because I pick up the fabric with them. And I dipped that into the purple dye and I spotted it onto the fabric. And then I over dyed all of that with the tangerine. And then I let it dry completely, saw how it looked, and I knew I wanted more dark modeling. Like the purple wasn't enough. And so I went ahead and went over that with a little bit of diluted charcoal gray, definitely diluted that time. And then also some of the tangerine, not diluted, just dumped right onto the fabric. And you'll see with the clips that I insert at the end how I do it, because yeah, if I took the time to explain it all here, this video would be really long. But if you guys do have questions and you would prefer for a video to be separate just about how I dye fabrics, then I will make a separate video. Just let me know. From there though, I did work on one other whip in the past 2 weeks, and that was my Sarah Moon 1791 by the Stitchy Box. This is my full moon Sal stitch with the girlies. Well, a few of the girlies, not all of us, but some of us decided to start this one. I'm stitching it 1/2 on Dirt Track by Fox and Rabbit, and I'm using the beautiful hand dyed by Vicki Clayton silks. I'll link the silk pack below because honestly, the silk pack is cheaper than the called for. And so I'm really happy with it. Here is my progress. So I was able to get all these little tiny ones in, this UN, and then I went down and started the little tulip motif that's right here, just because I wanted a fun color that actually showed up on the fabric. For some reason, every time I pull this out, I just don't have a desire to work on it right now. I don't know why. I love this fabric, but I think that's also part of it, is that I'm having a hard time seeing on this fabric. It's so beautiful, but the 40 count is such a tight weave and I'm really struggling seeing it. I do have mag eyes, so I just need to pull out the magnifiers and actually use them, but I tend to not because I'm, you know, watching the kids and stuff and don't want to pull out a bunch of things and I'm just being lazy, but I do have some. So yeah, there is that. Just a tiny bit of progress. I don't even know if I have a before picture of where I was with that one, but yeah, the silks are just beautiful. They're the absolute smoothest, softest silks I've ever used. Dinky dyes are definitely my favorite because I love the variegation, but these, nothing compares to the softness, the smoothness, and just how wonderful they are to stitch with. It's amazing. Highly, highly, highly recommend her flosses. She gifted those to myself and to Bridget, and I'm just super thankful because that was such a sweet gift and totally unexpected. But I have a couple projects now with her silks, the Vicky Clayton hand-dyed silks, and they're just fabulous. So from there, I kind of have like plans, acquisitions, happy mail, that sort of thing. So I guess I'll start with happy mail. I have a friend who, she does have a Flosstube kind of knitting channel. And her knitting channel, let me see if I can find the little bag, is Fiel Rosa. Fiel Rosa. Here, let me pull this out. Fiel Rosa. And I'm going to link it down below. She does like knitting designs, knitwear designs, but she had sent me these as little floss drops, which was super nice. This little bag that she sewed up, which is so cute. I love this fabric so much. I want some of this fabric. I think it'd be so cute for the back of a little small, like if you made it into a pillow, wouldn't that be so cute? And then she also gifted me a bunch of this yarn. This is amazing, like literally so kind and generous of her. I'm super excited to dive in and start using this. This is like the petrol blue, and this is just the cream color, like natural. And I'm not sure what sweater I'm gonna knit just yet. I think I have one in mind. I have it in a book over there, but this is so nice of her. So thank you so much. I love this so much. It's beautiful. And yeah, check her out, her channel. It's in Norwegian, but you can turn on subtitles, of course. And she's a knitwear designer, and she cross stitches, and she's just a prolific knitter. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. So love her so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm super excited to dive into that. But my next acquisition was, I did decide to go ahead and kit up Autumn's Glow. So let me show you guys what that looks like. Also, I got a few questions about where I buy my out of, like, it's not really that they're out of print, I guess, but where I buy my magazines. And because this is a 2022 October autumn edition of Just Cross Stitch magazine, and I get mine from Annie's catalogs, and they're relatively affordable for me, and so it's not a big deal for me to just snag one up. I do know that there are a bunch of options out there in the internet world where you can get magazines for free, or through the Libby app, etc. I personally don't have a problem just going and snagging it up, buying it real fast so I can scroll through my magazine and enjoy that time in the morning without the kids. But I do know that there are free options available. I'm just saying that because I know I will probably get comments telling me about the Libby app and this, that, but I am aware of them. I just buy them. I just do. So anyway, here's Autumn's Glow. I really, really love this pattern. I think it's stunning. If you want to go and see this one being stitched up right now, go and check out Rachel over at Lemonade Stitching. She is the newest girly. She's a girly now. And I mean, I know I've mentioned her a couple of times in the past in videos because I do watch her channel, and I have been a watcher since pretty much I started cross stitching. I remember watching, I think the first video I watched of hers was like her flipping through a binder of different patterns that I think were her grandma's. That's what I want to say. I think it was her. But yeah, I love her so very much, and I'm super excited to be stitching this one. I need to floss drop all of my pieces, but I did go ahead and go and kit this one up. Oops. I don't want to show you guys the chart, so I'll cover it up better. So there's obviously a lot of colors in here, and I also made a couple of little floss cards for this as well. I don't think that this is going to be enough, so I'll probably have to go and get another piece of this paper. This is just like the scrapbook paper from Joann's that's really thick. Which it's annoying that this is like $2.70. I'm like, I'll spend $10 on a PDF of a magazine, but a sheet of paper, $2.79? girl, that's crazy. So anyways, it does work nice though. I have found it, like, it doesn't shred apart very quickly, and I can kind of pull my flosses from it because I've been using it to stitch that small. And so I'm gonna see how it goes with this. I'm gonna floss drop them later anyway, but we'll see. And my plans with that one, because I'm doing this whole kit situation, is I'm gonna be stitching that on 32 count flax, which is just this very basic, nice little beige color, very good neutral. I think all the colors are gonna look fabulous on this. But I have this Mareska kit that I really wanted to start and kind of have as a sister piece to Autumn's Glow. I'll show you what that one looks like. I think I showed this in my last Flosstube, so you guys have already seen this one, but look at this together. Isn't that gonna be stunning? Oh, that's gonna be so pretty. I'm not sure how I'm gonna hang them or like where they're gonna go, but oh, it's gonna be so pretty. I just think these are like perfect companion pieces. So I was able to pick up this magazine on Annie's catalog. I picked up this Mareska kit, I think from Wizardy, which is that Etsy shop I was talking about earlier. And I am going to be making a change with this. So even though I have not been changing the fabrics for any of the kits because I want to give honest opinion, I am going to change this out to a 32 count flax so that I can have these hung together and they can match perfectly. This is originally stitched on a 16 count, I want to say. Yeah, 16 count Zweigart. It'll be a pretty small project, but lots of beautiful colors. It does come with that, like I said, Zweigart Aida, and I love that Aida. So I already know I like it, and it's not going to affect my opinion on the kit, but I definitely am going to swap out the fabric, and I'm super excited about that. I think they're going to be so pretty together. I'm going to link down below that Annie's catalog so you guys can take a look if you wanted, because I also picked up a couple of PDFs of the 2013 Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition and the 2024 Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition. So with the Mareska kits as well, I wanted to shout this out because not only do they give you the best floss bobbins that I've ever seen. These are very thick. Can you see how thick that cardboard is? It's very sturdy. This is the nicest cardboard I have received in a single kit so far, which is good because you're paying, I mean, you can buy a kit that's over $100 and then you just get a flimsy paper, you know, like give me something better. So I know this is an extra expense to them, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So that's one detail I like so far. And then these, they don't have the holes punched in them. Mareska was like, we'll bet. They give you a whole floss drop card situation. And this is a nice, you know, kind of coated cardboard, thicker material as well. So you have a place to put your extras without having to have all of this all jumbled up mess. And it's part of the packaging. I really like that. So I'm very, very eager to start this one. Also, I will say the pattern itself so far, best one. Best pattern I've seen so far. Like the charting, I mean. It's really good. So excited for those. Those are my plans. I want to start those and stitch them up and hang them together. I also picked up some of this just plastic canvas. Yeah, I think this is probably like 16 count plastic canvas. I don't know. I didn't see what it said on the tag, but at the art or the craft store, I picked up this plastic canvas as well. And my husband, he actually surprised me with this. I was watching the Hathaway Stitchers, which I love those ladies. They're hilarious. And they had talked about this book in their last Flosstube. And I went and I found it on Amazon and I like saved it in my like save for later stuff because I was like, oh, I'm going to come back and see if I want to buy that or not. But my husband saw it and he bought it. They didn't talk about this leopard very much, but that's the reason I bought it is because I loved the leopard. I thought it looked so funny and it looked very like Americana tattoo style. But as I was flipping through here, I actually saw this tiger chart and decided like, okay, I need that. I need that tiger chart. I kind of imagine these stitched up and like hung in a bathroom with some potted plants that do well in that kind of like high moisture level. Maybe like the ones with the long drooping leaves. So I think it's gonna look so cool, very like Americana style, stark contrast of colors. I really like this. I know this is gonna be a miserable thing to stitch though because there's so much white and just so much block stitching, which can get boring. It can. So my husband picked that up for me. Shout out to Daniel. And then my bobbin actually sent me a few kits, and I know I talked about them earlier being one of my favorite places to purchase from recently, and yeah, I'm going to continue to purchase from them. I got that Real Is kit that I bought They also gifted me a few kits as well. So here are some of the other ones that I was gifted. And one of them is this one, which is a brand that I need to try out so I can give you guys that good review. This is Adriana, I want to say, yeah, Adriana. This is Magic Shop. I think this is gonna be so cute for Halloween. I just like, I don't know, it looks like the perfect little witch's magic shop. I don't know. I love it. I think it's so cute. I love all the witches brooms and the owl and the cauldron and the cats. It's so cute. I love it so much. Honestly, I might make that cat a black cat and figure out how I can make that change, but I love this. It is full coverage, but I'm super excited to try this out. So far, floss situation looks nice. Looks like a lot of colors. Not sure what brand of floss this is. It doesn't, just by looking at it, it doesn't look like DMC's, but I'm not sure. And I'm not sure what kind of Aida it is either. It doesn't say on the packaging if it's Zweigart or DMC or Anchor or whatever. Yeah, love that. I did pick up another Realize kit. They sent me this one. I saw this one as a finish on Instagram and I added that to cart ASAP. It looks so much more beautiful than even this cover image can do it justice. I also really want this one, which I think is, this one here is French Lavender, and this one I think is Russian Daisies, and this one is something Lilacs, I can't remember. Lavender? No, that's Lilacs I want to say. I can't remember, but I really love these two, and I want to pick those ones up. There's also another basket stitch that was like bright blue flowers, almost like forget-me-nots, but they were very, very bright blue, and I want to pick that up as well. But I just have this one for now because I'm like, you know what, that's enough floral pieces. I have a problem. And the next one is another one that I plan to kind of go along with some of my other autumn pieces. And this is Rowan Berry's Garland by Magic Needle. So this is another Magic Needle kit. I really love their kits so much. They're amazing. I think I will tight frame it. I'm not going to do the excess that comes out on the sides. So it'll save me some stitching, but this is so beautiful. So beautiful. I haven't seen this one as a finish, but I can't even imagine how good it is because it's gorgeous. The colors, it's beautiful. So yeah, I have those three. So definitely check out My Bobbins. Definitely my top place to buy kits. I have been telling everyone about them who messages me on Instagram, like, oh, well, I love this kit, and I'm like, here's a link, or like, you know, go check out this website, because their selection is amazing, and I've never been able to find so many brands in one place with such low shipping, because that was my issue with buying off of Etsy, was I was spending so much on shipping to buy from different countries, and they ship from Russia directly, I believe, and it's, yeah, $5 and some change to have it shipped to you in the States, which is fabulous. I'm not sure if that's worldwide, but it might be. I mean, definitely go check it out if you've been eyeing some kits but you can't find one, and like you can't find one that has recent or decent shipping. Yeah, go check that out because they just have a little bit of everything. This is the Magic Needle packaging, but it's the Russian packaging, by the way, but it's still Magic Needle. It's just not the like Americanized packaging. So yeah, packaging, it doesn't really matter to me. Some people care about packaging because they want to be able to keep it to hold the project. I keep mine in project bags, so I don't keep the plastic slip that they come in, but this plastic slip is okay. I could see you being able to reuse it somewhat. The Realize ones, I don't think you could reuse it because it's sealed so well that it's like hard to open. You kind of have to cut it, and so not sure about that. I've never used this brand, so I'm not sure how that one is, but it reminds me a lot of like the Luca S kits, and so I could imagine you reusing it, but it's not going to be the best quality bag, for instance, you know, it's not going to last your lifetime, I guess. But yeah, that is pretty much everything I can think of when it comes to cross stitch and my plans and all this fun stuff that I've got that I've been shopping for. But last week was the first week of summer. I'm just going to move into life stuff, which, I mean, if you guys are not interested in life stuff, it's totally fine to head on out. You don't have to stick around and listen to me talk about my children or my husband or my family life. I totally understand because time is precious. So yeah, thanks so much for sticking around if you just stuck around for the knitting and stitching and all that good stuff. I haven't done any knitting lately, so I guess I shouldn't say that, but all of the Happy Meal and all that fun stuff. But yeah, just remember to, I guess, like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great next couple weeks. I'll catch you then. But if you do want to stick around for life stuff, then I'm going to move on into talking about life stuff. So it is summer vacation for my daughter. She's 6 years old. Her name's Amira. And so Amira's on break, and last week we spent every single day, I think except for one day of the week, at the pool. Like every single day. She's such a water baby. I had to buy her so many swimsuits already because I didn't want to rewash the same one every single day. I'm like, girl, I'm not doing this every day. But she's having such a fun time, and that's been great. Actually, later today we have a family party to go to, so we're gonna head there after my husband gets back. And then she also this week, because today is Saturday, but this week she spent from Tuesday until Friday with my mom and dad. So she was with her grandma and papa, and she had so much fun. She just, like, they live in a smaller town that has like a toy store still, and like a really nice park, and like another splash pad park, and they just did all sorts of stuff. So she had an absolute blast. It's really fun to see. Like my daughter, she loves my mom. She's like obsessed with my mom, and so they have such a fun time together. And yeah, it sucked for us because Daniel and I, every night he would come home and he'd be like, man, I miss her. Like, it's so quiet. Literally the first night he gets home, he's like, I don't like this. Which is so funny. He's definitely a girl dad. I think he thought he was gonna be like that boy dad kind of, but he had a girl first. You know, we had Amira, and he's a girl dad for sure. It's awesome. So he's really happy that she's back. They're at the gym right now together, but it's just been really busy. We've been staying busy, just enjoying the pool, which has definitely limited my stitching time because I have a hard time just looking and focusing on my stitching and not like paying attention to Amira. I don't know why, because she's safe in the water, you know, and she's good at swimming, and she has her proper life vest, but I get not anxiety about it, but I keep my eye on her, you know, making sure she's not splashing people and being in crazy pants. But it's been so much fun. I will say I never really address that I get rude comments on my channel because typically if someone leaves a rude comment, they just get muted from my channel. So like they're not able to leave comments ever again. But I did get this comment that was talking about my love for my daughter and how I needed to, like, you know, oh, everyone loves their kids, blah, blah, blah. And I just like want to say, I left that comment up, which typically I delete the rude comments. I left that comment up because I thought it was really embarrassing for the woman who left it. Because I know that like people with mother issues exist in the world, but to project them onto other people is really just such a shame. And I apologize that your life is so sad that you felt the need to comment on my love for my daughter. But I'd be happy to, if it offends someone that I love my children so much, for them to never watch again. I typically don't address things like that, but don't comment on my videos about my children or my love for my children. I don't know what world you live in where you thought that was appropriate, and it's not. So don't. And kindly unsubscribe if you are subscribed, if that's your mindset. Because I think a lot of you guys who watch are mothers and grandmothers, or you have nieces and nephews, or you have cousins and small children in your life that you have a love for. And you guys can understand why I talk about my family, and I love my family very much. So it's just vastly inappropriate. And so that's the first and last time I will ever address a rude comment. There you go. I hope you got the attention that you wanted. But anyways, I have just been having a really, really fun past couple weeks, and we've been having such a good time. And yeah, I'm feeling very excited. I'm happy to go back to work, excited to go back to work, but also sad at the same time. You know, like it's hard to leave your baby behind, but I'm going back part-time, which is awesome because I then get to spend time with family still and enjoy my summer. So yeah, I'm just having the best time. And the 4th of July is coming up, and I'm gonna go to my parents' house. We're gonna barbecue with them, and we're just gonna sit back and relax and have fun with the kids, and it's gonna be great. My dad's always been really fun as a child throughout like any holidays, but 4th of July was always fun when I was a kid, and so I think it's always fun for us to be able to hang out with my family, and of course hang out with Daniel's too, because that's what we're gonna do later today. So yeah, that's pretty much everything, but I hope you guys have a fabulous next couple of days, and next couple of weeks, I should say. I love you so much. Bye. So I know this is going to be kind of loud, but essentially I have my piece of fabric right here, and I'm going to be using this dye, which is just taupe Rit dye. I'm not going to use anything else. I've never used this color, but we'll see how it turns out. So I'm going to turn my sink to the hottest setting, and then I'm going to wash it. Just wash it really good, just with water, no soap. And I am going to stretch it like this, get it nice and wrinkly. I don't want it to be nice and smooth fabric. I want it to be wrinkly. And I'm just going to keep doing this until I feel like it's nice and like softened up. This is a nice dry Aida, so pretty simple, easy to do. And I will catch you guys in the next phase. My husband has this hooked up, which is cold water and hot water. This is like almost boiling hot water. Essentially, I'm just gonna take this scrunched up completely in a ball, and I'm gonna plop it in this cup. This is a cup that's just an old Greek yogurt cup. I don't know, my husband always keeps cups like this. It works out for me. So I am going to put some boiling hot water on this, or I should say steaming hot, because it's not quite boiling. And I'm gonna somewhat submerge it, but not all the way. So you can see there's still some pieces at the top that are not submerged. Okay, water is pretty much boiling hot, right? It's steaming hot. And I am just going to soak this. I just simply took the lid off and I dumped it in on the side. I'm not dumping it directly on the fabric. And I tipped it over this way so that it can kind of get that top layer, but not quite fully submerged. Again, some fabric is still sticking out of my piece. Some of it is fully submerged. I'm gonna leave it just like this for about 15 minutes. I'm just gonna pull up a couple more pieces because I do want a good modeled piece of fabric. So pull up some pieces like that. I will leave this to sit for 15 minutes. Sorry for the background noise. My air fryer's going because I'm making lunch for Amira, but this is 15 minutes later. I did not move this at all during that time period. I'm going to drop this out, still steaming hot. Plop it out like that, and I'm gonna rinse this off really, really well. Okay, and here's what it looks like. Again, this was just pure white Aida, and that was with Rit dye. I'm gonna let it dry, and I'll show you guys it after it's dry. If I wanted to, this is the point where I assess what it looks like. I realize as well, this is going to lighten up. I definitely wanna see what it looks like all over dry, because I am pretty happy with the color saturation and distribution of the dark spots. But if I was not happy with how this looked, I would then take it and either over dye the whole thing with the taupe for just like literally 2 minutes in a diluted bath of the taupe, because that is going to essentially take the modeling and tone it down, because you're going to be dyeing over the top of it. So this part might get a little bit darker, yes, but also all of this is going to darken up as well. So the spots where it's very, very light is going to even out just a smidge. So that would be my next bet if I wanted to tone down the modeling, but I don't. And then my other thing from there is if I wanted more dark spots, I would then take this and I would twist it in the areas I want dark spots. So we'll take, I want over here and I want over here. And I'm gonna take my non-diluted dye and I'm just gonna boop, drop there, boop, drop there. And again, I just do that in a big old Tupperware, nothing special, nothing that I'm gonna eat out of though. So remember that it's definitely important to use different utensils unless you're using the stuff that you can sanitize completely, like glass or whatever. But I just prefer to use those plastic pieces that I know I'm not gonna eat out of, and we've got plenty of those yogurt containers anyway. So yeah, this is gonna be my little piece. It'd be great for a little Halloween small as well. Here's what the back side looks like. Really happy with that. So my next project is actually a Real Liz kit, and if you guys know, I have been wanting to pretty much try out cat. Themselves are, I found that